Welcome back to the Reseller Journey Podcast. And in this episode, we got Chris from Flip the World, where he's going to talk about some tips and strategies on how to get started on selling volume on Whatnot and kind of looking into the future on how he wants to run his business. So if you have any questions for Chris, leave them in the comment section and we'll get to them throughout the show. And let's not waste any more time. Get your popcorn ready and let's get right into it. What's going on?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good. Yeah, just getting things ready for shipping and excited to kind of get a little bit more of your backstory on what you're doing with your resale business. Let's just jump right into it. Kind of what made you make the switch from going full-time on eBay and now doing Whatnot?
Honest answer is I wanted to do something that was like my YouTube lives, but also actually made more money than YouTube was making me. And so when I saw the concept of Whatnot, and it kind of reminded me of Twitch, like a streamer where you could, streamers are just like streaming games or whatever they're doing, but people are also giving them money. And I was like, well, wait, this is basically just, if I'm entertaining, which it sounds weird, but I think I am. I have the ability to just sell stuff to people directly from the bins. This might be something this might be the thing that I've been looking for. And then we tried it, and it wasn't like we hit a home run right off the bat. Our first few months, like 6 people in the stream, 7 people in the stream. And then it started to kind of steamroll once we started to like get a better idea of what we wanted to do. Instead of gauging it, like with eBay, it's pretty simple. If you're a clothing seller, you go out, you source clothes based off of brand, based off of sell-through rate, what you're looking to get out of it, regardless if you're high volume or low volume. But with Whatnot, what we were doing wrong in the beginning was we were sourcing what we thought would sell. And then once we started listening to the chat, to the people that were actually coming and watching the show, and started just sourcing for what they were looking for, everything changed. Everything changed. We're selling stuff that I would never personally go out of my way and source, but because they want it, I will.
Wow. So where are you now at? Kind of, you said you had just a couple people join your show. What is kind of average amount that you kind of see?
Average now per stream. Yeah. Average now per stream is between 80 and 100 people. And we call it the Flip the World Army because it's kind of like a cult. Like these are people, we go from 11 a.m. Central Time to 2:30 to 3 o'clock Central Time. That's how long we stream. And they will be there the entire time. In my mind, I'm just like, what do you guys do for a living? If you're not resellers, like, how are you on your phone or computer for this long? And
that's true.
They're loyal.
That's cool. A cult is just culture. You're developing a good culture where people just really, like you, your personality, and you're right. You do have to, be somewhat like engaging, right? You can't just be like, here, this is, you gotta, and I watched your last video where you just really hit it on the head there, where it's like, you have to engage with the audience, right? Like talk to them.
100%.
You can't just be like, whatever. So yeah, Bass and Coffee, thanks for coming on. If you have questions for Chris, drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching. So kind of just rewinding a little bit, how long have you been reselling in general, and what initially sparked your interest to get into reselling?
So I started actually like part-time reselling around the end of 2016, 2017. My wife and I actually had started our own pest control company, and to build up extra money to buy more chemical supplies, more, a better equipment and things like that. We started reselling, but we got into it because it was a horrible story I told, but Walter Blake Knobloch, another big reseller, a big YouTuber. I happened to come across a video one night when we were going to bed, and it was just like, I made $30,000 this year just selling VCRs from Goodwill. And I was like, this guy is so full of it. I don't know why. I was never on YouTube at that time, but I was like, I don't know why it struck me. I was like, I'm going to create a YouTube account, and I'm going to make my first video proving that this guy is full of it. So I like had it all planned. I went to the Goodwill the next day. I found a VCR. I bought it, $6.99. I tested it. I listed it on Amazon. And before I went to bed, it had sold for $89. And I was just like, oh, wow, he's for real. So I messaged him out of nowhere. I was like, hey, you don't know me, but I was going to destroy you. In my mind, I was going to destroy you and call you out for expose you for being a fake. And you're real. Holy crap. My name's Chris.
Yeah. You're real. This is real.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of the experience for me too, was similar. Like, you're like skeptical. You're like, people buy used shoes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll pick these up, and they do. So
it literally changed my life. Like everything I look at now, and now it hurts to pay retail.
Yeah. For anything, almost
anything,
right?
Literally anything hurts to pay. Even coffee. Like I stopped going to Starbucks. I just make my own. I buy it at the house.
Yeah. Tastes better. You get more.
Yeah. I was like, I can't
so
do
many
this
benefits. Anymore. Yeah. Sorry, Starbucks. So where are you at now in your kind of business, and what are you looking to improve on?
Right now I'm trying to figure out how we can scale without increasing the amount of work, which I know is almost impossible, but I know it's doable. I'm just trying to figure out how we can do it. Because we are real big on time. We're a big family, 8 children. We're a big family.
Wow. Yeah, congratulations. I did not know. I knew you had kids, but wow, very good. That takes some good management.
Yes,
sure.
That's another reason we're so good at the reselling, is because we already know, we're programmed to be managing everything. Yep. So time is more important to us than money. So, obviously it's good that we're able to make a living doing this, but that's why we primarily work 3 days a week, because we have, a kids in choir, we got 3 in baseball, we got, so it's life. We have to juggle everything, and that's more important to us than just working 100%. Every day.
Yep. No, 100%. That's you got to always ask yourself why you do what you do, and if you're really getting obsessive over the money and the fame and whatever, and then you forget kind of why you do it. Kids can grow up, and before they know it, they're gone, and you're like, oh, I probably should have taken that night off, and or taken that day off.
We have 3 that have left the house now, so we're down to 5 inside the house. So the 3 older ones, I'm just like, okay, hopefully we did everything we're supposed to do.
We're here if you need us, but be free.
Yeah,
freedom. So you said you stream 3-4 days a week. How many hours roughly, like in a week, are you putting towards running this business?
Probably right around 32, 36 hours in 3 days. Probably like 12-hour days for those 3 days. And then everything else is pretty much relaxed. Like we do still sell on eBay. We do still list, but it's only 75% or higher sell-through rate. And it's only usually items that we find that are valued over $100, and stuff that I really don't want to sell on whatnot, golf bags, golf clubs, high-end electronics, things like that.
For sure.
So we still do dabble with that, but you probably have an insane amount that you do every day on eBay. So 5 a day, five a week is, 20 minutes of work.
Yeah.
So very minimal eBay for us.
Mm-hmm. So eBay, whatnot, and that's about it, right? There's no other Mercari or
no,
Bonanza.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, and I even backed off YouTube because the way I look at whatnot is you're basically streaming, which is like being live, like we are right now, except you're also selling stuff. So those 3 days / maybe if we do an extra 4, if we do one extra day, so 3-4 days a week, we start at 11 and we end around 2:30, 3 o'clock. You're looking at 12, 13, 14 hours of streaming that I don't have to edit. It's just there. I just turn on, go. That's all the filming. That's all I want to do as far as like filming. I don't want to then have to film while I'm streaming and then edit at night and
no.
The way
that's why
the way I explained it to a YouTuber that's like, dude, you have to keep going on YouTube. Your personality, you can blow this up. And I'm just like, man, honestly, I started my YouTube channel in 2017. I actually started taking responsibility of it around into 2018. and I'm just at like 6,500 subscribers, which is, for what I do and the little that I post is pretty good. We've been on Whatnot 8 months and we're about to have 7,000 followers. So in less than 8 months, I've been able to already create what I've done in years, and I'm making significantly more money.
Yes. And, not only are they followers and potential customers, but you actually develop a relationship with these people over time, and you get to know them, and you never know what they're sitting on as far as product or who they know, where that could end up turning into something even bigger. I agree there. You got to really figure out what you spend your time on and what's really important. And YouTube's great, and I totally agree with the not editing videos. Is why I like to stream a little bit more.
For sure.
Because you're editing, it takes time. So, and then you got to figure out. It's really funny because a lot of YouTubers that say, "Yeah, I worked for weeks on this YouTube video. I spent hours editing it, and then it was their lowest performing video."
For sure.
And you're like, "Huh, why did I do that?"
Yeah, in my brain, I'm like, oh man, I could have just streamed on Whatnot and sold a bunch of stuff.
So, Sack Taster says, "You're leaving eBay, face purple, crying."
Not leaving, just slowing it down.
Yeah, for sure. Good strategy, and I like that you're still doing it, but you're just picking those really good high selling items.
Yeah, just making the most of my time with it.
Hustle and Grow says it's just clickbait. All right. Well, click and bait. All right. So Taylor Exchange says, "What's up, Bo? What's going on, Sean? I hope you're doing well." Marcus, Yobo, and Chris.
What's up,
Monica,
Marcus?
What's going on? I enjoy watching your videos, Chris. As do I. They are really good. I hate editing videos. Yeah. So, it's. Some people love it, some people hate it. I just try to, from my point of view, is like, how can I get as much value out as fast as possible versus spending a little bit too much time editing. But so if someone wants to get started selling on Whatnot, what do you suggest the first things that they do before they go all in?
Before they go all in, it really just, to me personally, it comes down to, are you like an open book, open personality type person? Has there ever been a point in your life where you're like, I'm dull? That might, I don't know. I watch people on there that are killing it, that literally, I wouldn't say are like the most outgoing, but they also don't ever show themselves. They just have their camera positioned in the wall, and then all you see is like from their elbow to their hand,
their arm,
and they just hang it up and they're killing it. Really, it just comes down to what you're selling, because when we started, we were trying to sell brand new shoes from our wholesale liquidation, and we were taking L's, just L after L, because our buy cost is too high for what that platform was going for at the time. But now Whatnot is a marketplace. It's not just live selling. You can actually sync your items from eBay. You can sync all your items from Poshmark, from Mercari. It's just another platform like that you can cross list to. There's a huge market on there, and they have every category you can think of, kind of similar to all the other platforms. They even have a home and garden one where people are selling plants. They sell food.
I did not know that.
Homemade. It's weird. You can sell like homemade food, which, buyer beware, I would guess, like
free
you don't
delivery.
Know the sanitation. But
same day shipping.
Yeah. I just think if you have the inventory or you have the availability to get stuff at a very, very low price, or even at a price that you're able to move, because you don't have to start everything at $1. I know a lot of people think that everything has to start at $1. Like, we're all used to eBay auctions, 99-cent start. You can start it at your buy cost if you have to, but there's the potential that nobody wants to buy it at your buy cost.
Yeah. So there is kind of like you got to have a little bit of a following, is that right, to get on Whatnot or to get approved?
To get approved, not so much now, because they've opened so many categories now, and they have the whole referral code kind of thing where like we got on using Harry Tornado's referral code, which kind of put us at the top of the list. They're like, oh, well, I mean, if Harry Tornado's are, vouching for them, then they must have stuff. Now, we still had to go through the procedure. They wanted pictures of our inventory. So I just went to the warehouse, opened the door, and took a picture. And they're like, yeah, you got enough stuff. And then I just told them, like, yeah, I told them, I was like, also, we get new inventory daily. If we need to, we can get it daily. So they're really looking for those wholesale, like those high volume people. Now, of course, there's low sellers on there that just have like the grails for vintage or items like that. But the people that I see really crushing it are doing the wholesale model.
So do you start, you said something about starting your items at your buy cost, or since you're getting mainly all of your items from the bins, what are, obviously you're going to start probably those higher price items at a higher price, but what's kind of an average price you start things off?
So most of our stuff, like like graphic t-shirts, we'll start them at $2. Vintage, depending on what it is, we'll start it at $4 or $5. Shoes usually start at $5. Handbags, depending on the brand, we'll start them at like $8 to $10. Jackets, depending on size, depending on material, like leather jackets, we usually start about $10. But then also, like we try to create things that'll keep the chat engaged, because you want to keep the people there because they're the ones spending the money. And the other point is you have to entertain, and entertaining by yourself is exhausting. So the way that we try to take that away is I created like a bingo game. So I created different things that always happen on a daily basis when you're at the Goodwill bins. You're always going to hear a kid crying. You're always going to hear like one of the carts has a squeaky wheel, and so it's going,
that's mine. Give it to me.
You're going to hear an employee say, "Get back behind the line," or something like that. So we created a bingo game where I have like a card that I put at every show, and then someone could just screenshot it. And then anytime something happens, the next item, no matter what it is, runs for $1. So it keeps people like there, because sometimes the next item is the Coach bag, or the next item is a pair of hunter boots, or a vintage t-shirt, because it's all just piled on a cart. I don't do it in order. I just, hey, the next item is, it's this vintage t-shirt. So whatever the next item is after that bingo happens, it runs for $1. So it keeps people engaged and watching, because, you could get $100 shirt for $1.
Yeah, no, that's good. So just a little bit about you post up at the bins. Do you just go into like a little secret corner, or like how does that all work? Because I'm sure people probably wonder what you're doing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I wish it was a secret corner. No, we've just always gone to the same spot. And so like the people that are regulars that know who we are, they just know like that's our corner. We just always go there. We make sure we're out of the way of the employees. We make sure that the manager's happy. Everybody's good. We're not causing problems. And we just set up and go. The real good thing the thing that I'm the best at is I can just ignore everything around me, and I literally just focus on myself. I look at myself on the camera, and I just, everything that's going on. I miss the bingos. The chat tells me like, "Hey, bingo, did you hear that?" And I'm like, "I didn't, but if you said it happened," I focus on that. And of course, there'll be people that'll like walk up, and I've had someone pick up my battery pack that I carry to keep my phone battery charged. They're like looking at it like while I'm streaming. And so like, I'm having to like off camera, look at them like, what are you doing? I'm live right now.
Yeah. Interesting.
People trying to look in my cart.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that before. So what's a typical show as far as like how much do you think you can, average sale per show? Like 100 items, 500 items?
Yeah, so our most that we've sold in a stream is 168 items. Now, it was actually more than that, because at the end of the stream, we do what we call a leftover lot. So everything we've run, we think is worth reselling. Maybe nobody just wanted it at that time, or maybe we started it at a price that somebody wasn't willing to pay for it. So we just set it to the side. We don't throw it back in the bin. We set it to the side. And then at the end, we have like, 15, 20 items that we ran that nobody was interested in. And we just run it as a leftover lot, like a reseller lot. And we start at like $10. And then whoever gets it. So we sell out everything. So that counts as one item, but really it could be 20 items. But our most that we've sold is 168 in one day. I think our gross profit on that was 1786 in 3 hours. And then of course, after the Whatnot fees, which they have the lowest of any platform, 11%.
Nice. Oh yeah.
I think we were at like, I want to say 1482, and then we have to check out and pay for the stuff. Yeah. And I think our total that day was right around $400. So we made about $1,000 in pocket after fees, after buy costs. Yeah. 0% upfront because we have instant payouts. So we use the people's money, not our money.
Yep. $300-$400 an hour. Not too bad.
Yeah. Not too bad. Better than I ever made having a job.
Yeah. And for doing stuff that you actually, like to do, It's not like you're chipping concrete in 100-degree weather. It's you're doing stuff that you're passionate about. For sure. Where do you think Whatnot is as far as like in the process? Do you feel like it's getting a little saturated, or do you think there's a lot more room to grow?
Oh, I think there's so much room to grow. They're adding new categories all the time. Like I said, they just added the marketplace aspect to it. I think what they do very well is they're bringing something to the resale arena that no other platform is doing or has. I mean, they have the capabilities because I know eBay is now starting to dabble with it. I know Poshmark's now trying to do live auctions, but on Whatnot, you can be rated, which is something you can't do on any other platform. So for people that don't know what that means, that aren't familiar with Whatnot, let's say I'm streaming right now and you're streaming right now and you're selling your stuff. I'm selling my stuff. You have 500 people in your stream and I only have 50 people in mine. You're about done. You're running your last item. And you say, all right, guys, we're going to go raid my friend Flip the World. You just press the raid button, type in my name, and you send all 500 of your people to my stream instantly. So now I have 550 people, potential buyers like that.
Wow.
And I just start showing them. You can't do that anywhere else. It's like paid promotion with you don't pay anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of innovation going on with Whatnot. I haven't, checked out the platform too much, but a thing that I was listening to a podcast the other day, it says with all this AI stuff happening and all these businesses moving into it, they basically just said, if you're not first, you're last.
Oh, for sure.
So basically Whatnot is doing first. They're doing things that really you don't really see on eBay or,
for sure.
As big as eBay is and as much money as they have, there's still a lot more brand awareness with Whatnot, and people are starting to get more familiar with it. So,
yes, and that's scary to like put all your eggs into a platform that is literally leading the charge on what they're doing. eBay is a sturdy. How it works. You know what to expect. But we as of January 1st, we're going to go 100% Whatnot, and let's see what happens. And so it's terrifying because they could totally screw up and something happen and it ruin everything for us. But, we know what we could do in the back. We know what our plan B is what we've been doing before that for years, which is eBay.
Yeah.
I can get right back. I can get right back to 30 a day if I have to.
Yeah. I think the model in general of the live auctions, I think they'll just keep popping up, kind of like back in the internet days where there was Alta Vista and Ask Jeeves and they kind of all came.
Yeah, there already is a runner-up platform. Whoa. I just lost my screen. Maybe. Can you still see me?
Still there.
Okay, good. We just lost. They just came up with a new one called Jamble. It's basically it's the same thing. It's just called Jumble, something like that. I don't know. I saw people say I didn't get approved for Whatnot, so I'm on Jamble or Jumble.
Okay. Yeah. Go with it. Miss Lachey says, just stopping by to say hello. Well, I appreciate you. Hope you're having a good day. Vanessa says, how often do you do lives?
Typically 3 days a week. 3 days a week live from the bins, and on Sundays we call it a bins from home show, where we sell items that we sourced from the bins that we wanted to do at home, so we could maybe touch them up, we'll wash everything. Maybe they had like it's a really cool vintage shirt, but it needs to be OxyCleaned to get more money out of it, stuff like that. So we'll do that on a Sunday show, but that's a real laid back, like short show. It's not the long drawn out, like the bin show. So 3 days a week, 4 at tops.
Nice. That's good. And Jeff, what's going on, brother?
What's up, Jeff?
Smash like button. Yes, if you are getting value, consider subscribing. We interview people every week, just seeing how they're going about reselling, what they can share, and maybe you can, if you want to do whatnot, you'd probably want to hit up Chris. I did leave his social media in the description, so you could reach him out there. Nice. Getting into the next question, what does your sourcing life look like? Are you just from the bins? Do you want to start buying bulk, or like kind of where do you see it going from here?
So for us right now, we literally source only at the bins, and only while on days that we stream. On days that we don't stream, we don't go. Now I do have a shopping addiction on Whatnot, because you can just jump on and get such great deals on stuff. That it's like, okay. And then again, they offer insane shipping options. So like for the last 5 months in the thrift and the vintage category, you get 5 pounds for $7.57. So if somebody runs a t-shirt, the first thing you're going to pay shipping is probably $5.50. And then the next like 5 items that you buy on that stream is free shipping. And then the last item you buy is $2.17. So you're getting like 5 pounds of stuff. So it really helps with the average buy cost, to where, like I dropped into a Lululemon show last night, and I just stocked up. And I think my average buy cost at the end of the stream, once I was done buying, was like $8.75. Nice. And that's cheaper than me going to 15 different thrift stores trying to find it. I just went to the Lulu. I went to the person selling Lulu on Whatnot, and I just started bidding on stuff, and I'll resell all of that.
The added things like driving, gas, time.
Yep.
That all has huge value, where you could literally sit in your underwear and source.
It's like
have to leave your house.
It's literally retail arbitrage, like people do for Amazon, but it's for thrift. It's for thrifted items. It's amazing.
This is good stuff. Vanessa says, do you prefer the bins over the regular thrift? People at the bins are aggressive.
Yes, they are. Yeah. I will 100% always prefer the bins because of the buy cost. At the end of the day, like, this is a business. I treat this as a business. Like I said, we're an S Corp. Like I've done it. I have a bookkeeper. I just look homeless, but this is a business. And the way that we are working our business to get the most value is the bins, because I can pick up jeans for, under $2, where jeans at all thrift stores in Texas are $6.99, $8.99, $9.99 for the same jeans. Bins for the wins for us. And then like with the aggressive people, the way to avoid that, and what we do, and what I make videos on YouTube, when I do make videos, is I stay away from the new rows when they come out. Yep. So like I'm like the vulture of thrifting. Yep. I go to the bins that there's nobody in, and I just have a Rolodex of brands that most people don't know. And I just like most of the people that are aggressive at the bins, those are usually the people that are selling like at flea markets, yard sales, or sending it somewhere else. They're looking for like the mall brand stuff, because those are the names they know. They don't know, Adriana Goldschmied jeans. They don't know True Religion. They don't know Judy Blue or Mother or anything like that. So I focus on making sure that I have a good Rolodex of brands, and then that helps me out.
Yeah. You're so right about the, if you've ever been to the bins, or, you don't go because there are some crazy people, a great strategy is just let the new bins roll out, give it a minute or two, let them do their thing, and go there after a couple minutes, and there's no one there.
Nope.
After just a few minutes. And it's pretty shocking, because, things will be flying, and you'll time it, and it's like, all right, 3 minutes later, it's a ghost town. Yeah. So you don't have to be in the mix bumping elbows with the grandmas and the crazy people. Just give it time, develop a strategy, and I mean, there's so much clothing to choose from. You're really not missing out unless you are looking specifically for
I'd
Yeah.
probably say 90% of the people that
Mm-hmm.
go to the new rows and are like Tasmanian devils, they're all top feeders. They just go to the top layer. They never dig to the
Yeah.
bottom of the bin.
Mm-hmm.
And once you let the sea settle, you go in there, you start actually moving stuff and getting to the bottom. That's where you find all the great stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Good stuff. Stacy says, so you're not going to be live from the bids today?
No, we're not live today. Our next one is this Sunday.
Cool.
Sorry.
No, that's good. Elle and Michelle, aspiring flippers. What's up, Chris? Happy to see you on a live and that you are all thriving.
Hope y'all are
Yes.
doing well. Yes, still alive.
Still live. Yeah. So, looking towards like the future, kind of the visionary outlook, where do you see this business being maybe just a few years down the road?
If Whatnot stays the course that it's on and we're still able to move about as we are at the bins so freely, I mean, I really, the only thing that would change it would be if we went longer, if we sourced longer, if we streamed longer. Because the bins, it's kind of like playing the lotto. You never know what you're going to find. I think that's another thing that entices people to come to our shows, is because we don't know what we're selling. I won't know until I get there and start digging. So it makes it interesting for everybody involved. I mean, growth wise, I think that there is no ceiling when it comes to the bin. If you don't know what you're going to find, you don't know what the ceiling's going to be, because you could go there one day, like we went Monday, an entire truck from Nordstrom's was donated. So everything we were finding was from Nordstrom's new with tags. I mean, we both were like, hey, we're going to stay longer today. And you build your day around what you're finding. Like if you've been going enough to thrift stores, especially if you have a route, if it's a good day, and then you work harder. On good days, you work longer. That's just how it is.
Yeah. Yeah. What does the prep time look like? If you're getting ready for a show, do you show up a couple hours before you start the show to get your items?
Yeah. So our locations are open from 8 to 8. We get there around 7:45 so we can get in. The number one thing, the most important thing to us and to most people at the bins, is a cart. They only have a certain number of carts. And if you don't get a cart, you're going to be trying to find a tub or a bag, or you brought your IKEA bag. So our first thing that we must have is a cart. And the only way you're getting a cart is if you get there when it opens. So we get there when it opens. And we both go our own separate ways. And we just start digging for stuff. I stop around 9 o'clock. So I only dig for an hour personally, because then I have to go set the corner, get the camera stick set up, and then I start going through the inventory and entering it into the Whatnot stream for that day. Now I'm very basic with my descriptions, and I don't take pictures. I want people to stay in the stream. And so if I keep it very vague, if I just put, Tommy Bahama size extra large, they don't know, is it a t-shirt? Is it a beach shirt? Is it a polo? Is it a blue? Is it black? So they just are like, okay, there's a Tommy Bahama shirt that's a size extra large. I'll wait and see what it looks like. So
that's good. At what point do you hit a certain amount of items to where you're like, okay, I'm ready to start setup? Is it like 200 items, 300 items?
Usually we'll have 100 to 125 ready to go before the show starts at 11. And then my wife, Stacy, she continues to dig while I'm live. And then, of course, I always tell the chat, I'm like, hey, guys, if you're looking at anything specific, put it in the chat. My wife's digging. We'll make sure we can try and find some of it if we're able to. And I was like, obviously, don't say vintage, Carhartt, the stuff we were already looking for. But if you're looking for something like we had a lady that was like, I'm really into floral dresses. Well, okay, awesome. If you don't care about brand, you just want floral dresses, I got you. Stacy, floral dresses, and she'll bring like 50 of them. So she continues to dig while I'm streaming. And so when we run out of the stuff that's already preloaded, I just start manually quick entering everything, because they have a quick enter option, and I just do it live.
Nice. That's good. So Jeff says, I saw Chris' music video. You released a music video?
Yeah, so I've been part of a band for a long time, and during COVID, we decided to write I'm not going to say probably our last album. So it'll be album number 7 or 8. And it's being released on the 26th from our record label. So they've been putting out little teaser videos. So they dropped the teaser video for it.
Oh, good. That's awesome. Doug, welcome. Good to see you. He says he learns a lot from you, Chris.
Yes. Oh, nice.
If you want to just get a little backstory about Chris, just check out the link in the description. Go to his YouTube, and you could see a lot of his process and how he started to get going on Whatnot. So,
including a lot of videos of me saying that Whatnot was a joke.
Yeah.
Which I leave up. I'm not taking them off YouTube. When I first started, I was like, this is not going to work.
Yeah. It's part of your testimony. Yeah. That's good. Vanessa says, can you bring a wagon like those pop-up ones to the bins?
You can. The only downside to that is they have like those big, like you roll your cart onto scales.
Yeah.
And they charge by weight, and you have to have your stuff in one of their carts because their carts are automatically weighed. So they know how much to deduct. So there's people that bring their own carts. There's even a guy who sells books on Amazon that brings his own like plastic Fisher Price, like you pull your kid's cart and fills that thing full of books. And then all he has to do is he just takes them all off and puts them on the scale. And then they just weigh it with no weight. And then he transfers them back. But yeah, you can totally bring your own cart, IKEA bags, things like that. When we first started really ramping this up, I asked them, like, is there any way I could just bring my own cart? Like, and they're like, you can bring it, but we won't be able to weigh it, because I was just going to order one of those carts that like Sam's has, those huge, like double wide, extra long. And that was going to be that was going to be our Whatnot cart, because it holds more. So we could, and they're like, we wouldn't be able to know how much weight to deduct, because that's a heavy cart. So I was like, okay, never mind. Because I was going to make my own Flip the World cart.
Nice. Yeah. And then you're moving stuff and moving them back.
Yeah.
It's kind of so touch on some of your best flips as a reseller, just in general, whether it's on eBay or Whatnot, some of your best finds. It doesn't have to be just clothing.
Yeah. So we've had some weird ones that made us a lot of money. So we used to be really into dumpster diving, mainly because I found a little spot that's like a retail strip center. It's like a Nordstrom Rack, a Ross, a TJ Maxx, a Marshalls, a Guitar Center, and like some other stores all in one strip. And I just happened to be driving by one day getting boxes, and I was like, is that clothes? And then I looked, and it's like all the returns, they were just throwing them in the dumpster because they can't resell them. And I guess it's cheaper to throw them away than to send them back to the manufacturer or something. I get just tax write-off. And I was like, wait a second, they're throwing away new with tags inventory. So we just like, okay, we're going to do this as long as it lasts. And we found, I found a retina scanner for like optometrist. I sold that for $1,500. I found this. Now, obviously this didn't come from a store, but I found a prosthetic leg that went up to the hip. Yeah. I sold that for I sold that for $650 on eBay. And it had a nice New Balance 996 on it, so I left the New Balance on it.
Better, yeah.
Those are some weird ones that we fought. I just sold a 1997 Diablo PC video game that was sealed. Sold that for $450. Paid $8. Jeez. So just random big hits like that. I found a very rare, was it Neil Young record at the bins. I paid like $250 for it. And that, I actually sold that to a buddy for like $200, but on Discogs, it was like $450 plus, but it was like a life-changing record for him. So I couldn't rip him off too bad.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. So was the Diablo game sealed?
Yeah, it was sealed, factory sealed. And it actually came with a strategy book. So it was like a little bonus.
Jeez, that's crazy. One busy mama to you. Hey, Bo and Chris, sending you some Florida sunshine. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, it's actually the hottest day of the year, 80 degrees today.
Yeah, it's horrible. That's it's horrible outside already. So this is going to be a real good summer in Houston.
Yeah, a little warmer there than here, but that's good. So just running out the last question, in terms of like growing your business, what is the overall goal with Whatnot? Like, how big do you see it getting, like with employees, or just to like kind of where you can manage? What is your goal with Whatnot?
Um, right now, I want to hit the goal that we have made for this year to just like set in stone that this is working. I don't know why I need a year to know, but it's just going from what we've been doing to completely changing everything about our business for 2023. I just want to know, I want a solid year. I want to hit our goal. And then really the only thing that I can see that I'd want to change is I really hate shipping. Especially since it's like, 160 pieces, 100, it's a lot. And then, a lot of people buy bundles, so I have to go through it. Now I have a good system. I just separate everything: pants, shorts, shirts, button ups, jackets. And then I just kind of go through those piles to find the items. I would love to maybe hire one of the older kids in the house that's looking for a job instead of them going and getting an $8 an hour job at like McDonald's or something, maybe offer them the opportunity to work with the family business.
Yeah, that's good. So if someone has questions, where can they reach out to you? What's the best place to get a hold of you?
Well, the best place for like, if you have like questions would be Instagram, Flip the World TX. They do have a messaging system on Whatnot as well. So if you're already on Whatnot as a seller or as a buyer only, and you want you're thinking about becoming a seller, you can message us on there as well. We can send you our referral code, which will hopefully bump you up in the line. I can give you some tips on what the application to become a seller is like, and what kind of steer you into how you need to answer your questions to get you approved faster. But Instagram is going to be the best. YouTube, I just did a new video, but that's like my first one in 4 months. I'm kind of slacking on YouTube because I stream so much on Whatnot, but Instagram is going to be your best bet. I do respond to literally everybody all the time.
Nice. What is, I know you took a break off YouTube. Do you see yourself maybe doing a video a month, or kind of just sporadically,
I really like Dave NC Picker. He created a separate channel. He has like 5 channels, but he created a separate channel.
I noticed that.
just called like Reselling on Whatnot. And he just he does a live while he's selling on Whatnot, and he just talks to both. Now, I don't know if I have the mental capacity to pay attention to two chats, but it's working for him. So that would be something I was into. But basically what I've done is the same kind of information that I was giving out on my YouTube channel, which is like reselling information and some type of comedy or entertainment, I'm now doing on the Whatnot streams. I don't just talk about what I'm selling. If there's reseller questions, no matter what platform, I give my advice. If people are wanting bolos, so I'm doing all of the stuff I was doing on YouTube while I'm selling stuff. So that's my main mind. How do you find time? I haven't been able to balance that one yet. And at the beginning of the year, I was actually talking with Josh, Harry Tornado, about everything I had going on. And he was just like, just follow the money. And I don't know why that clicked in my head, but it's like, I do need to just follow money. So I sat back, I pulled up all my numbers for the business, and I looked where I was making the money and where I was spending most of my time, but not making money. And it was YouTube. It was YouTube and a few other things like Etsy, trying to keep an Etsy going. And I was just like, okay, you're gone. You're not gone, but you're not going to be as my main focus, because my main focus was YouTube and it wasn't making me the most money. So for right now, it's maybe a video a month if I can do it. The other thing is trying to think of what's the video going to be about, because I don't want to just do the same.
Yeah, for sure. That's good stuff. Yeah, if you're just meeting Chris for the first time, go check out his YouTube. A lot of good stuff. You had been doing it for years, so there's a lot of good history to see through there. I appreciate you. Go follow Chris. Great information. If you guys have questions, leave them in the comment section. I'll get to them after the live. Hope you all have a blessed rest of the weekend, and take care.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.